Hi there. So today I thought I would use my powers for good rather than evil. And I thought I would give you a list of sort of must-have essentials for your first year on testosterone, if you are someone who is choosing to undergo this journey as well. Now, for reference, my goals as far as what I want out of testosterone are pretty binary. Even though I'm not 100% binary myself, I am going for a very like I want to look like a whole ass man, basically, and then just dress how I want. But I am, especially now that I'm on hormones, I am more binary than not. Honestly, there's just some fluidity and some wiggle room with my gender identity, but for the most part, I am just a guy. So a lot of my suggestions are also going to be kind of in that realm. If your goals are not as drastic as mine, some of these might not be necessary. But so that's why I'm also going to title it for FTM specifically. But this could also be helpful to some non-binary folk as well. So yeah, let's just get started. I'm just going to pick one and go. You know what? Number one, let's just go for exciting. Number one, listen, just for men and rubbing alcohol together. And there's a reason why. Just for men works. It works on facial hair that is also just peach fuzz. So when your hair just starts to change, it'll still look like peach fuzz. It'll just be longer slightly and a little bit thicker. This will work on it. And not only does it work, but you can use it for months, honestly, until it just like kind of dries out. It is designed to be reusable, so it's great, honestly. And it doesn't last for super long, but the reason you need rubbing alcohol is it stains the shit out of your skin. I'm not gonna lie. It stains your skin bad. And you do look like you were eating some brownies or something. And so a lot of times I like to dye it on a day off. Now, I will say, with a cotton ball and just rubbing alcohol, I can get almost all of the staining off to the point where it just is leaving a shadow that honestly helps my facial hair stand out more. So I would be willing to do it on a day where I have things to do later. But just in case something goes disastrously wrong, I will say I do like to do it on a day off. But it does work. It does work very early transition. But I also, when I posted asking about it, I had a bunch of trans guys who have had full-on beards for years say they still use it, just to make things a little bit more cohesive, a little bit darker, just stand out a little bit more. Yeah, it works at all stages. It's not too expensive, especially when you consider that you can do it every couple weeks if you want to. Let's see. Next up. I guess I'll kind of go, I think next I will do, maybe this will happen sooner for you. So next up, snacks. Keep some snacks around. So your body's going to go through some bananas changes, and preferably keep some snacks with some protein and carbs around, because you need both to grow muscle, actually. And I find that my body is mostly asking for a lot of extra carbs. And it, as someone who has struggled with anorexia, I can say it didn't happen all at once. It hasn't been consistent, and it actually has not been super overwhelming for me. I've had a couple days where I've been like, wow, I ate a lot. But the scale weight has like barely been changing because I'm not in a consistent surplus, because I don't feel like bulking right now, because I'm just trying to chill out with my recovery and not challenge it too much all at once, you know? My body composition is just in the middle of changing, so it takes extra carbs, extra fluid, and all sorts of things for your body to move fat cells around and grow muscle, so you might not become ravenously hungry. I will say it probably was more mild for me because as someone who has a really fast metabolism already, I was already someone who had to eat 4 to 5 times a day or I will lose weight. So it probably wasn't as overwhelming for me if you're someone who had a really slow metabolism before and you only ate a couple times a day and not very much. It might be a big change for you, but I already was someone who had to eat a decent amount to maintain my weight. So keep some snacks around, because I don't know when it will hit you. It did not hit me. I got a bit of a growth spurt and a hunger spurt around like month 3 and 4, and then it completely went away again. And then recently, I've been really hungry again. Um, so yeah, keep some snacks on hand, because I have found that I'm an actual gremlin, and I will find random weird stuff to eat. If I don't pack things that are actually nutritious and helpful for me to grow and build muscle, I will just be eating weird, like, leftover Easter candy that someone left at work. So, which slaps sometimes, but also I want gains, okay? I don't want just sugar. I also want gains. Next up, binder of choice, trans tape. If you have not tried trans tape, I am begging you to try trans tape. Not even necessarily from their company. I also like the trans tape from chestbinder.co. I really actually prefer that kind. I just like the pretty blue from trans tape. And they have a lot of sales, so a lot of times I'm getting it cheaper from trans tape than chestbinder. There are safety risks that you need to address with this when using it, particularly if you have sensitive skin. I have literally had no issues with trans tape at all. And as someone who doesn't have back problems or back pain, I don't want to give myself any. And I just hate traditional binding. It is so uncomfortable. I already carry a lot of my stress in my shoulders and stuff. I don't need help having tension there. So this takes all the pressure off of your back. Literally all it does, it will probably mess with your skin elasticity over time, but so would traditional binding. So I fucking love trans tape. A lot of times, like I said, they have sales all the time, and I'm normally getting this for like $14.99. And yeah, amazing. I use the medium. I will recommend, even if you have a really small chest like I do, the medium is just nicer because if I use the small, I end up wanting to do 2 strips, one upper and one lower. But with the medium, I'm like totally happy with just doing one piece of tape on each side and then boom. Also, if you have a bigger chest, check out Trans Tape's channel because they have a ton of different, like YouTube channel, they have a ton of different tutorials of people with different chest sizes. See if you can find someone with a similar chest to you and see how they use it. And if you think that it might be a viable option for you, I've definitely heard some people just say they've even ordered it and tried it and it did not work because their chest was larger. So, you know, for reference, I'm like a very small B at most. I'm not binding at all right now. I'm just chilling. The men are out. The men are abroad because I needed to give my skin a break. I wear this for like 5 or 6 days at a time, take it off, give a couple days off, at least one, sometimes just one, honestly, and then I'm good to go. Next up, oh my god, if you are doing injectable testosterone, medical websites supply syringes and draw needles. Oh my god, you will save so much time and stress and money. Please, I used Allegro Medical, and honestly, if you or anyone in your family, anyone you live with, anyone you love, needs regular medical supplies for any sort of reason, I would sign up for their newsletter because they have sales all the time. Like, I got an email about stuff for incontinence today, and I was like, you know what? Someone needs that. So, like, especially if you have, like, a diabetic family member or something like that, like, check out their website. They're always having sales, and, I'm never gonna run out. I ordered syringes of the correct needle gauge and everything, and then I ordered draw needles, and I don't even know when I'll need more. Because I don't know if smaller pharmacies are better, but especially if you go to a Walmart or a Walgreens for your testosterone, they're always out of the correct size of syringes and stuff, and sometimes they want to give you like a different kind, and sometimes like if you aren't 100% sure if that's the correct kind for you, especially like intramuscular versus sub-Q. Now acknowledge to yourself that you are taking it upon yourself to get your own syringes and that you need to make sure it's the correct gauge and length for whatever kind of testosterone you are using, particular sub-Q versus intramuscular, and make sure that you triple check all the dimensions and that you're doing things safely and properly, because you aren't getting it directly from your doctor. So at your own risk, you know, if you're certain that you know what you're recommended or prescribed, like, because I have a prescription for this specific like syringes and needles, but I can also order them online, and now I like never need any again. I'll eventually need some, but it's gonna be like years. Cool. Next up is going to be some form of physical activity. Disclaimer, this is not for everyone. I'm not telling you you have to exercise. Some people don't fucking like to exercise, and that's fine. However, if you are going for a more binary transition, I would recommend that you just give it a shot. Because working out boosts your natural testosterone levels. And I have just noticed anecdotally that guys who are really consistently active in their first year of transition tend to have at least like 1 to 3 months a little bit faster on their progression than other people. It's not a huge difference. Everyone gets there in the end. But if you're kind of like me, where I was like, I've known that I probably will eventually go on testosterone for like 6 or 7 years, and I really should have done this for myself. I tried to do it like 5 years ago and I couldn't, and I was very overdue for this journey. Yeah, exercise of choice. If you're dysphoric or socially anxious or have other mental health issues, you do not have to go to the gym. It is a luxury. It's a luxury of time, energy, effort, emotional bandwidth, and there are plenty of things you can do that are free, but especially if you are interested in building muscle, like, you will either have to buy weights at home or go to a gym, and that is a cost. And I know that some people just are not in a place where they can. Sometimes it's even just the emotional cost. It takes a lot of energy and consistent effort to become an active person consistently. I'm not saying you have to, but I'm saying that, one, it will really, really help with your body composition, and two, you are going to go through some weird mood stuff. It is nothing like fucking roid rage, okay? If you're having roid rage issues, get your levels checked, and maybe check in with your mental health team, because I was someone who, my mental health was so bad like a year or two ago, I was like punching myself sometimes, binging and purging, or actually I was just purging. I would get so stressed out at work, I would like scream cry on some of my breaks. A lot of this was because I was chronically underfed from my eating disorder, but like I have not had a good track record with emotional regulation, and I have done fine. Now, part of that, I think, is that I really needed this, and it has left me with a lot of peace. And also, testosterone statistically actually helps reduce your anxiety in the long term. It'll just probably spike it for a little bit. But I did find that, like, I'm a little grumpier sometimes, and I also do find that, like, processing my emotions is a little more difficult sometimes, and really connecting with your body through some form of movement can really, really help process a lot of what you're going through, because you're probably going through a lot. Even if your life is really stable, transition is a big deal. So if anything, also just to keep your sleep regulated, keep your health in a good place. You know, like, testosterone is not a huge risk, especially if you're young and healthy, but exercising definitely isn't going to hurt as long as you aren't over exercising. You do not have to become a fucking bodybuilder. I'm not saying that. I am just saying that there are a lot of benefits specifically for someone going on testosterone. When it comes to physical exercise, I would highly recommend something that involves tension on the muscle, whether that's calisthenics or weightlifting. You don't have to. If anything, go on some walks and shit. Like, get some fresh air. But especially, like I said, if you're going for a more binary transition, even if you don't want to get super buff, listen, if you don't pack down the food, you aren't going to get super buff anyways. So if you want to stay kind of twinky, but you want to have more visible muscle, you don't have to necessarily bulk up or anything like that. You could just help stimulate the muscles that are already partially being stimulated by testosterone to come to the surface a little faster, if you get what I mean. So a similar thing, well, actually, while I'm at it, also, creatine. Especially if you're working out. But honestly, in general, creatine is great. Here's the thing. It's very, very safe if you want to look into it. it's going to push water into your muscles. It's going to increase your muscle volume, so it will be more visible to you. You'll feel more confident. You will get bigger pumps when you do work out. And yeah, it's just a quick way to kind of cheat up some visible musculature to help you feel more confident, and maybe you'll go at your workouts harder and feel better about yourself. And this is Naked Creatine. I got it off of Amazon. It wasn't super cheap, but I spend more money on my like delicious, stupid protein bars that aren't that healthy. I just eat them for dessert. But yeah, I'm not going through it super fast. I'll have it for a while, and it's just gonna beef up what you got and help with exercise performance a little bit. But it's a very worthy thing. This and vitamins, that's all you need. That's all you need, I swear to God. Maybe caffeine if you're me, but yes. Similar to this, and these kind of go hand in hand, but hobbies. You're gonna need some hobbies, because I'm telling you, even if you get kind of lucky, and I guess I would consider myself lucky because I'm like a few days shy of 7 months, and this is where I'm at, which is very different from when I started. Especially the first 4 or 5 months, you're probably going to be like peeling your face off. Like, God, I wish I could just teleport to the future. Find things to pass the time, especially, oh my God, if you do not have a job or school right now, or both, I am so sorry. Like, please try to find things to do. If you decide to take on like a really intensive work exercise routine to help build you up to where you want to be, which first off, the cool thing is once you get to where you want to be musculature wise, like, you can just do like maintenance volume, so you won't have to put in as much time, which I'm very much so looking forward to. But at the same time, I like to do high volume muscle building stuff right now because it just passes the time. It's gonna eat up hours of your day, and that's been nice. It's really helped the past couple months really fly by, and it just feels like I blinked and all of a sudden my voice had dropped and my face had changed so much and my upper body is changing like crazy and stuff, and it's just, yeah. Between that and video games and painting little figurines and stuff, I feel pretty set. But find some things to do. Find some things to do that are healthy and make you happy. Some things to do that have nothing to do with transition would be nice, even. Yeah. Be a whole person. Try not to just sit around waiting for life to start. I think that's a mistake a lot of people make on their first year of hormones. And I've definitely been doing that to a degree, because I'm just like working out to try and get strong and muscular, and then I just like hang out and don't leave my apartment much. So that's on me though. All right, do we have anything else? Oh, yes. Oh, this was a big one. I'm wearing it. Clothes that are not too tight but are not too loose are so important, because if you wear really loose clothes, it's probably going to lead to you getting misgendered more because you'll look smaller by comparison. It makes you look little when you wear big, baggy clothes. Tight clothes can actually help you pass, but your body's going to be changing a lot. So I really recommend stuff with the sleeves cut off, especially to help you regulate your body temperature. Because if you're anything like me, I was cold all the time for years, and now I am boiling hot all the time, especially now that I'm lifting weights and eating a lot more. Things with the sleeves cut off. I'm super fond of overalls, like if I'm like bloated, and because here's the thing, your body's gonna like bloat up a lot weird because it actually has to use like water weight to move the fat cells around to their new spots and stuff. So you're gonna get puffy, you're gonna have funny little chubby faces and stuff like that. It is going to happen. Please try to continue to nourish yourself properly, eat enough food, especially to grow, especially if you do decide to exercise. Please continue eating. Your body is just really drastically changing, and it requires a lot of different functions to do that, and because of that, your clothes are going to fit super weird all the time. So having a little bit of give, especially if you are someone who's struggled with like trying to look more androgynous or masculine by restricting your food and being smaller, like I struggled with, it can be scary to like, I feel both gender euphoria and also body image terror when I feel myself kind of busting out of my clothes, which has been happening a lot because my upper body has drastically changed because I've worked so hard on it. But give yourself a little bit of room to grow is basically what I'm saying. And also, you know, light fabrics and stuff like that, not only, even when it's like nice and like the air conditioning is really kicked up on at work, if I'm running around doing a lot of shit, I get so hot. I will feel the heat just like flooding out through the bottom of my feet. It's crazy. It's very uncomfortable. So airy things that give you some room to fucking breathe is really nice. Also, get yourself a fan. You're gonna need it. I really struggle to sleep because of heat. I no longer sleep in my bed, like in my bed. I just throw a blanket on me, and it's halfway off of me, and I have that blowing directly on me in my sleep, and I still wake up because I'm hot, which sucks. But yes, a fan. It's gonna be your friend. Maybe even get one of those little ones you can carry around with yourself. I should probably get one of those for work. But yes, clothes that give you room to grow and change. And just leave the clothes that you're attached to. Just leave them be. Don't worry about them. Get through your first year or two of hormones and then see if they fit. If they don't, you can resell them. If you can do that and get something else, I'm going to eventually have a really pop and depop because of that. I'm just waiting to see because I'm surprised at how many things I can still fit into. Honestly, they just look different. They just look way better in my opinion because I look more like how I envision myself. But yeah, get a lot of soft and lightweight but fairly affordable clothing that has a little bit of room, isn't drowning you, because once again it's going to make you look really small, which maybe you like that, maybe you like the oversized clothes. I'm not saying you can't, but if I do find that like when I have t-shirts that are kind of like I'm really starting to fill them out up here, I get gendered properly a lot more actually, which I am starting to get gendered correctly finally. I think it's been a bit delayed because I work at a makeup store and all my coworkers are people who are assumed to be women, even though quite a few of them are non-binary. And a lot of the people who shop there have been coming to that store for many years. So I think they're just confused. But it is finally happening. Yes, lightweight, comfortable clothes. Don't worry about it too much. Try not to like invest in anything that's like really tight that you could possibly change and that's the thing too, is like you might go up a shirt size and down a pant size, you know. I feel like that's gonna happen to me honestly because your body fat just completely moves around eventually. But yeah, give yourself room to grow and give your body a chance to regulate its temperature comfortably and all that stuff. Yeah. Next up, dry shampoo is going to be your friend if you're like me. And I have colored hair, so I'm already someone who, I used to only wash my hair once a week. But now that I am on testosterone, I am an oilier person, and I work out, oh my god, I have to wash my hair so much, and I hate it. Especially now that I've like parted it over here. I'm trying to have this like, I'm trying to grow my hair out. It's only going to be like to here. I just want like shaggy, medieval twink hair is what I want. So I just mostly need to grow out the back from here. Honestly, everything else is kind of where I want it to be. But I don't want to have shaved sides anymore. So I just have this like thin piece of hair. This gets oily so fast. Dry shampoo. I like the Not Your Mother's for an affordable one. The warm sugar one just smells yummy. But also, if you have a sensitive scalp, the chlorine one is amazing. It's just more expensive, so I don't always buy it. And they have one that is for dark hair. And as far as skin, I am going through it, as you can see. Here's my approach. I am waiting to see what my skin does. I'm on month 7. You know, like between 6 and 7. This is definitely when skin tends to get bad, between that and like a year and a half. And right now, I still just don't feel ready to introduce new skincare products. My general skin advice is be patient and do not introduce too many things at once. And yeah, like I said, I just want to see what my skin does. I have actually become even further back on my skincare regimen where I used to cleanse with CeraVe hydrating cleanser every morning and night, and I would do a double cleanse with an oil based makeup remover if I had makeup on, and follow up both times with the daily moisturizing lotion from CeraVe. I have actually stopped washing my face in the morning because even though I'm definitely producing oil that's irritating my pores, I also feel really dry and dehydrated. And my skin just feels really inflamed. And I have actually noticed an improvement since I started just using gentle, tepid as possible, as room temperature as possible of water to just rinse my face off really gently in the morning and then worry about a more intensive cleanse at night. If you do want to address the acne a little bit quicker, you could do different spot treatments like the Mario Badescu drying lotion, or maybe the super spot remover, or even like the Mighty Patch little dot patches. I have thought about getting myself some of those for the worst ones, but like this is when it gets bad and then it gets a little bit better, and when it's a little bit better than this I really don't care. So I just haven't bit the bullet and like spent money on new stuff. And definitely, of course, eventually I probably will have to look into some sort of chemical exfoliant to do once or twice a week. I don't use any sort of exfoliant currently. I just know I never got into them. I didn't need them before, so yeah, but start off with something gentle. Maybe try salicylic acid or benzoyl peroxide, and start off with as little of it as possible and work up to whatever your skin agrees with. Currently, I'm still just going to sit and wait. I also wanted to say that I did figure out what was I think I have figured out what was going on with my hives. So I started getting hives a little bit before my increase, and I could not figure out what it was. It only happened when I did weightlifting, and it started only happening on leg day. I thought it was exposure to shower water after I exercised, so I stopped showering after I exercised, which sucked. And I could not figure out what it was, but it seems that I have a food sensitivity to nutritional yeast, which sucks because it's a super low calorie, very delicious, cheesy tasting thing that adds like 6 grams of protein for like 25 calories. You can throw it on anything and it just makes it cheesy and kind of floury and delicious. It would appear that if I'm going to either drive around in the heat or exercise, I can't consume that. But it's only if I get really hot. So I am going to experiment and see if I can shower after I exercise soon, but I have just been enjoying not getting those hives for a little bit. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure I have narrowed it down to that being the culprit, which makes sense because it happened right around the time that I started using it. Didn't happen immediately though. It's very weird, but as part of this video, you know, your first year on hormones, there's a chance you might develop some allergies and stuff and some sensitivities to things because that's normal when you go through big hormone changes. So yeah, I'm just like, I figured that out last night, and then I also got like an important maintenance thing taken care of in my apartment, and I was like, dude, the things I've been so stressed about are gone, and now I'm just like so chill. I'm so vibing. I feel so happy to be here. Like, dude, I just like, I had a conversation with someone where they were asking me if I did like vocal training and stuff to drop my voice down, because like this person started hormones months before I did, and I guess their voice still hasn't dropped yet. And it was so strange to me. I was like, dude, I need to be more grateful because I've been so busy like trying to like build my body up and stuff, and just like survive this first year on T and just get to the next step, get to the next change, that I haven't been enjoying what I have. So I just want to say I love testosterone so much. I love being a calmer, more self-assured version of myself, even if it makes me a little more depressive sometimes. It's not too bad. If anything, I think I'm finally just experiencing all the emotions that were buried under my sort of like red alert anxiety brain that I was stuck in for years. I love being motivated to eat so that I can grow. I I love my growing muscles, and I love the belly that's, all the fat that's going to my belly. It's a cute little belly. I love my body hair so much. I can't wait for more. I love my facial hair. I love the way my squishy little face is changing, and it's not where it's going to be. It's totally in the process of this metamorphosis, and I don't even know what I'm going to look like at the end. Probably something similar to this, but it almost changes every single day because of different like fluid retention and stuff, because there's just all sorts of crazy shit going on in my body. And I love my voice. I love my singing voice, even if it's stuck in a very narrow range right now. I love my hands, my arms, my legs, my calves, my quads, even my weird new toe hair. I, I, I'm really happy. And if you're in your first couple months and your changes haven't hit yet and you feel like it's never going to happen, dude, you're going to blink and it's going to be there. You're going to be okay. I'm here for you. If you have any specific questions, definitely let me know. Any of these things, make sure you look into the potential side effects. Definitely research trans tape. And if you've never had any sort of hair dye on you, do a little patch test of this to make sure you aren't allergic. Be smart if you're going to order needles online or anything like that. And yeah, have a beautiful day.